You are listening to the So Now What podcast with Lana Manikowski, episode number 109. So now what? These three words raced through my mind time and time again during my journey through fertility treatments. I tried desperately to have a child, but never was able. I yearned for a community to join that could understand my struggles. I couldn't find one, so I created one with the So Now What podcast. I love that you found us. Well, we are in the thick of the holiday season. I hope that you're settling in well, that the holidays are coming to you from a place maybe calm and joy. If you're not there yet, I want you to listen in to this episode because I am thinking about all the women who maybe are feeling invisible this holiday season. Before we get started, wanted to give you a little update about what's been going on with me. Things have been buzzing along in my corporate world. The organization that I work for has something called President's Club. If anyone is in sales, it's kind of a universal thing. And I have never won a President's Club, but I am in the running. They take the top 7 people to an all expenses paid trip with a guest. So Jack would be my guest. And I will find out the week of January 22nd if I won President's Club. So through the end of this year, my focus has been on making sure that I close my year out strong. Anyone who's in sales can totally relate. So I will let you know. But this is my first time in my sales career that I have ever been so close to winning President's Club, also known as P Club. So I will make sure that I keep you posted. I won't have any updates again until the end of January when we're at our national sales meeting in Arizona and they announce the winners. So I'll be excited to share with you what happens there. But either way, I feel really proud of the accomplishments that I've created this year for myself and the dedication and motivation that I've had towards my job, towards my coaching practice, towards my Thrive After Infertility community. And I have to tell you, I attribute it all to life coaching. And one of the things that I work on with myself is how I feel about showing up in my day every day. And when things are crazy and I feel like I have a million things that I'm juggling, how to put myself in a place that I feel good about what I'm doing. And if I'm not feeling good about the things that are going on and the things that I'm managing in my life, how to step away and pay attention to why they don't feel good. Are they things that I need to do, or are they things that I'm choosing to do? Are there things about what I'm doing that maybe I could look at differently? Or maybe I just have outgrown doing some things. And whatever the case is, I feel like because of life coaching, I've been able to manage so much from a place of excitement and abundance versus feeling stretched thin and haggard. So that is a huge accomplishment for me because for a long time, especially during my fertility journey, I felt like I was very stretched and I felt like I had to show up being somebody that I wasn't because I didn't have the tools that I teach in my coaching community. I will keep you posted on all of that good stuff. Also, I participated in an amazing childless / child-free gift card exchange that Emily Capes Robbins put together. And I have been getting so many beautiful cards from women in the childless and child-free community. So if you listen to this podcast and you were one of them, thank you for your beautiful card. I hope mine has gotten to you, and I hope that you enjoy the card that Jack and I have for you this year. Lastly, I just had the most amazing inaugural childless / child-free gift exchange. It was in person here in Chicago, an amazing group of women, most of which had never met. I've met a few randomly. I have a Meetup group here in Chicago for women who are child-free and childless, and it's just starting to get revved up. Our holiday party. It was so much fun, and I feel so excited. So if you're in the Chicagoland area or find yourself traveling here, make sure that you join my Meetup group so that next time you're in town and you feel like joining us, you can. So let's get to the good this week. There's so much that I wanted to catch you up on, but there's so much I want to talk about when you feel invisible at the table. This month is packed with things to do socially. So maybe you find yourself getting together with your girlfriends, and most of which might have kids. And people are talking about their kids and all the stuff that's going on in their families. And you might be feeling invisible at the table with your friends, maybe at a work party or a work event. Maybe when it comes to Christmas this year, you might be feeling a little bit of anxiety because of the conversations that might be going on, or the fact that maybe your cousin or your sister or brother have the kids and you don't, and you feel like you might not be a priority this year. You might be feeling invisible. And I want to talk about that. I think that a lot of us carry that burden with us. We might not be able to enjoy things the way that we want to enjoy them because we feel like we're not recognized amongst the people that we expect to feel so connected to so easily. I was working on this with a student last week, and it was such a profound thing to go through that I want you to have the opportunity to think about why you feel invisible and give yourself the opportunity to rejoice with where you've been. Because for a long time, you might have found yourself not talking about where you've been, not talking about the fact that you wanted to be a mom, not talking about the fertility treatments that you had been through. So when you were around people, you kept quiet and maybe didn't share what had been going on with you. If you're like me, I felt like I didn't really connect with the people that I was close with, and I didn't really want to go deep into what I was going through because it was so hurtful and raw. So there's nothing wrong with the fact that you might be doing that, but recognize that people might not know what to ask you. People might not know what's going on with you, and you may be feeling invisible because you're not being included the way that you want to be included or asked the questions about what's going on with you because people might not know how to approach you. So they just think if they talk about what's going on in their life, that will fill the time and maybe seem entertaining to you. And maybe they worry that if they ask you a pointed question about something, it might hurt and it might be still raw for you. But if you feel like you're invisible, this is something I worked on last week. And I have to tell you, the healing that came from it for this student of mine, we went through and we recognized all that she has been through. And that might get you to a place that you're like, "Ugh, I don't know if I want to recount that. I don't know if I'm ready to go back there. I don't know if I want to be reminded of what I went through." But what we did was not necessarily recount step by step what she had been through, but we talked a lot about who she was during the process and how she can look at herself as somebody who was doing something for her, somebody who was doing something for her partner to grow their family and create a family for a long time. You might relate to this. You may have been white knuckling life. It might have been feeling like you were just on this autopilot, that you didn't feel like you had a say in your journey, that you knew that you wanted to become a mom. You said yes to fertility treatments, and it was sort of like you put the seatbelt on and the roller coaster took off, and it was just this whipping ride for so long. And you might be feeling invisible because you haven't had an opportunity to pay attention to all that you were through that process, all of the opportunities to become a mom that you continuously said yes to, even knowing you didn't know the outcome. And you might have just thought that that was what you were supposed to do. You might have just thought that people who want to be moms bad enough just do this. And I've got to say, I think you are exceptional for doing this because not every person has the courage to say yes to fertility treatments or has the courage to do another cycle after one not going the way they had planned or by having a canceled cycle. So you're likely feeling invisible in this world because you've been invisible to yourself for so long. Some of us just feel like it's what we have to do to get through things. But now that that's over, and now that you know where your path has landed you, what can you do to recognize yourself, to recount who you were during your journey, to believe that what you did is for women who are exceptional? And the fact that you're here today wanting to grow beyond this path that turned out so differently mean that you don't want to be invisible. That's not who you are. So whether somebody asks you pointed questions, whether somebody talks the whole time about their kids, know that as long as you are not invisible to you, there's no way you can feel invisible. And maybe this might be the time that you want to start telling your story and you want to open up, and maybe you'll decide that At this Christmas lunch or dinner that you're going to, if somebody asks you how you've been, maybe you want to start talking about things, even though you know that it might be hard for you. But if you choose not to, know that you are not invisible as long as you are visible to yourself and that you're able to recognize the brave, amazing, and focused woman that you are. I hope that you reach out if there's anything that I can do to help you work through this. I hope that you have a beautiful week. I love you. Remember, you are not invisible, and it's never too late to discover your meaning. I'll talk to you next week.